Welcome once again. I am Mercy Gashego Sembatia. It's a beautiful morning here at Channel 44. I'm here to bring you the news update. I am joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. Well, starting from what's happening around us as displayed in the papers, travel chaos as crackdown starts. Traffic police officers spent the better part of yesterday hunting down motorists who have not paid for tickets issued to them for various traffic offences across the country. The operation that seeks to recover 8.5 billion Ugandan shillings is to last for 2 months. We'll get the details in today's papers. Yesterday they issued a warning to all motorists to pay the tickets that were issued to them because of the offences they committed earlier on. Moving on, there are many tenders in the Daily Monitor. Get yourself a copy and see the tenders that are in ABI, UVRI, GIZ, TechnoServe, NADS, Total, WWF, UCC, and many others. And also, IGG cancels City Roads contract over bribery claims. It's in today's Daily Monitor. The Inspector General of Government, Miss Betty Olive Kamya, has directed the Kampala Capital City Authority Executive Director, Miss Dorothy Kisaka, to cancel the procurement process for the Lot 4 road project over allegations of corruption during bidding. It's in today's Daily Monitor. And also, Busongora poll losers heap blame on security. Waimbalu dancers raided VIP tent at FIT. And also, in neighboring Kenya, Raila asks court to nullify poll results, and these are the grounds. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party presidential candidate Raila Odinga and his co-petitioner, also running mate Martha Karua, are seeking 23 reliefs, including an order of for inspection of the IEBC and security of the rejected and spoiled boats. Moving on to the New Vision, over 300 cars impounded in crackdown. Police staffing on traffic defaulters. Well, they are to pay because there is a recovery that is needed of 8.5 billion Ugandan shillings. This is to last 2 months. Oil drilling starts in December. Very good news for Uganda over here. The delivery ceremony of Uganda's automated 1,500 HP oil rig that has low emission and soundproof system. The Tilenga project's first oil rig, ZPEB rig of 1501, has officially been handed to the project's main contractor following the successful completion of the endurance testing conducted by the builder Hongwa factory in Guangana City, Sichuan province in China. The rig will now be prepared for shipping to Uganda. Well, we are to start oil well drilling in December. Moving on, overhaul colonial education. That is President Museveni has condemned the colonial education. Police issues tough rules on firearms, and also illicit brew kills 14 and over 20 admitted in Arua. It's all in today's New Vision. Also, Katumba speaks out finally on airlines probe. Get yourself the story, the details of the story in today's New Vision. And also Senior Formox, entrepreneurship and English language. They bring you the details. Well, allow me to take you straight into our international news. In the neighboring Kenya, Raila Odinga, who came second in Kenya's presidential election, has gone to court to challenge the result, describing it as fraudulent. In a scathing 70-page legal argument, he alleges there was a pre-planned effort to alter the outcome. According to the Electoral Commission, Mr. Odinga took 48.8% of the vote, losing to William Ruto's 50.5%. An independent monitoring organization said the Commission's final result was in line with its own projection. However, 4 of the 7 electoral commissioners refused to endorse the outcome, alleging that the final results were tallied in an opaque way. Crowds of Mr. Odinga's supporters sang and chanted outside the court in the suburb of the capital, Nairobi, as presidential candidate arrived to deliver the document along with dozens of boxes. Neither Mr. Ruto nor Mr. Chebukati have responded to the allegations. Moving on to the United States, Arkansas State Police have launched an investigation after 3 local law enforcement officers were seen on video beating a man during an arrest. One of the officers repeatedly punches the man in the head and bashes his head against the pavement. State police say the man had been accused of making threats in a shop earlier on Sunday morning. All 3 officers have been removed from active duty on paid leave pending an investigation into the conduct. Police say that when the officers confronted the suspect, who is 27-year-old Randall Worcester, he pushed a deputy to the ground and punched the back of his head, leading to the arrest. Moving on, lawyers for a Florida school gunman have asked jury to spare him the death penalty, urging that his brain was irretrievably broken owing to a difficult childhood. Nicholas Cruz, who is aged 23, pleaded guilty last year to killing 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, on the 14th of February 2018. The trial will determine whether he is put to death or jailed for life. The case is the deadliest mass shooting to reach a jury trial in the United States. On Monday, Melissa McNeil, Cruz's lead lawyer, said her client had been exposed to drugs and alcohol while in his mother's womb, citing this as a contributing factor to the massacre. And also, Anthony Fauci will step down as the head of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease and Chief Medical Advisor to President Joe Biden. Dr. Fauci, who has served as director of the NIAID for 38 years, said he would leave both positions in December to pursue the next chapter of his career. He became the face of the nation's COVID-19 response during the pandemic. On Monday, Mr. Biden thanked him for his spirit and scientific integrity. And still in the United States, with some areas of Dallas, Texas receiving record-breaking rainfall, drivers on a flooded Interstate 30 were forced to abandon their vehicles and get to safety. This comes as the United States is, in Dallas especially, is facing massive flooding. The American Space Agency says it's going to launch its giant New Moon rocket next Monday. NASA officials conducted a flight readiness review late yesterday and concluded there were no substantive technical issues in their way. The rocket, known as the Space Launch System, will send a capsule called Orion on an excursion around the moon. Uncrewed this time, astronauts will climb aboard for subsequent missions, assuming all goes to plan. The SLS will go up from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The vehicle, who has been given a 2-hour window yesterday to get off Earth, starting at 8:33 local time. Russia has accused Ukrainian special services of killing the daughter of one of President Vladimir Putin's allies in a car bombing at the weekend. Dalia Dugina, who is aged 29, died on Saturday when a vehicle she was driving exploded near Russia's capital, Moscow. Her prominent ultra-nationalist father, Alexander Dugin, said to be close to Mr. Putin, may have been the intended target of the attack. Ukrainian officials have denied any involvement in the explosion, but Russia's Federal Security Services Bureau said yesterday it had solved the case and said that Ukraine was directly responsible. The FSB told Russian media that a Ukrainian woman had moved to Russia in July alongside her young daughter, but that she was in fact a Ukrainian Special Services contract. The suspect then escaped to Estonia after the explosion, according to the FSB. An advisor to Ukraine's President Zelensky, Mikhailo Podolyak, said the FSB's version of events was Russian propaganda and a fictional world. And finally, former U.S. President Donald Trump has asked the judge to freeze the Justice Department's investigation of files seized from his Mar-a-Lago home. In a lawsuit, his legal team asked that an independent lawyer be appointed to oversee the documents that FBI agents took earlier this month. 11 sets of classified files were taken from Mr. Trump's Florida estate on the 8th of August, according to the FBI. Mr. Trump is being investigated for potentially mishandling documents. U.S. presidents must transfer all their documents and emails to a government agency called the National Archives, and the FBI is investigating whether Mr. Trump improperly handled records by taking them from the White House to Mar-a-Lago after he left office in January 2021. He has denied any wrongdoing and said the items were declassified. In the 27-page document filed in a Florida court, Mr. Trump's legal team accuses the Justice Department such as simply wanting the camel's nose under the tent so they could rummage for either politically helpful documents or support efforts to thwart President Trump from running again. Well, that brings us to the end of this morning's news update. I remain Masiga Shego Sembatia. I remind you of the Karamoja cry. Please join us as we deliver food relief to Karamoja. God will richly bless you. I also remind you that this Sunday here at the Miracle Center Cathedral is the Kids Sunday. It's the day when Proclaim choir is celebrating 10 years in existence, and the children will be singing and ministering to us. Come and join us. Send your children. They will be tremendously blessed. We will meet again at 12:45 today with fresh news updates. I remain Masiga Shegu Sembatia together with Livingstone Kawesi. God bless you. Good morning.